Take a couple questions from within the room. If you have any questions for Trevor, go ahead and press the raise hand button now.
Trevor, congrats on the win, man. Quite the Bellator debut. Can you talk to me about how it feels to pick up your first victory here?
It feels amazing. We ran through this game plan 1,000 times. I feel like I've been in fight camp for the last year straight, and everything we worked on came to fruition. That step knee that ended up cracking him and knocking him down was what my coach promised was going to work. We drilled that 10,000 times over the last several months, and it was really cool to see it actually like work out perfectly there in the third.
Yeah, and so the game plan, was it, you kind of made it dirty in the first couple of rounds, pushing him up against the cage. Was that kind of the game plan, to wear him out and then see what happened from there?
Yeah, I wanted him to become a frustrated grappler. I wanted him to start reaching for stuff. I wanted for his arms and his legs to burn out. So even if he got a hold of me, he wouldn't have the power to drive through and get the finish. I was really focusing on knees to the legs and knees to the lower body. I didn't want him to try to catch anything, and I just wanted to wear on his arms and legs. And near the third, he just slowed down and everything started to work.
And interesting situation. You're coming in here to fight kind of one of their guys that they're promoting and has a multi-fight deal. So for you, did that motivate you more? Like, hey, I can kind of come in here and maybe earn something of my own?
Absolutely. No, I was here to steal all his fame. Yeah. No, I wanted to come in and get a good, hard opponent. I'm not scared. I'm ready to fight anybody. I think Bellator is a great promotion for me, and I had a blast fighting here.
Yeah. You hope they keep you around, maybe another opportunity coming up?
Absolutely. I would love to. I hope I did enough tonight to kind of prove that I belong here, and I'm ready for whoever's next.
And how tall are you?
I'm 6'7".
6'7". So
yeah.
You don't really see that very often at welterweight. I mean,
no.
I feel like you pose a pretty unique threat to the rest of the division.
Yeah, and even if it went to the ground, I have such an odd frame, and I'm a high-level brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, I wasn't really worried about it hitting the mat. When he took me down in the second and put me against the cage, that was really a great chance for me to catch my breath. He had to wrestle. He had to get me off the cage. I got to sit there and breathe and relax until he made a move, and I felt very good. Yeah.
Last one for me, the origin of the Scarecrow nickname. Can you give that to me?
One of my students, when I taught jiu-jitsu back in my old gym, gave that to me. I came downstairs and he said, "It looks like a scarecrow's coming down." And I was getting ready for my first or second MMA fight, and it just stuck. It makes sense. I'm from a rural town in Missouri, Centerview, Missouri, town of 240 people. I know they're all watching tonight, and the Scarecrow was perfect.
Awesome. Congrats again, man.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a couple from within the room here. Donna Corby.
Hey, Trevor, how's it going?
Doing well, man. Thank you.
Congratulations on an incredible win. If I could be a little bit critical, you didn't seem as confident in your striking as maybe you should have been. It was clear when you were exchanging on the feet with the hands. It was very obvious that you were the superior striker in the exchanges. Why do you feel like you weren't able to load up on your punches so much?
Oh, a little bit of it was nerves. This is my first time in the Bellator cage. I know that my striking is good, but I know that my clinch game is better. I love the clinch. I love dirty boxing, fighting against the cage, using my head pressure. And at the beginning, I really wanted to wear his arms out before I took advantage of the striking. The plan was to come out hard at the end of the second and all through the third round with the strikes. But once you find a place to be safe in an MMA fight, it feels really good to be there. And I really wanted to land that up elbow against that clinch wall. Mm-hmm. My coach was the one that told me to break and to use my step lead knee. And I listened and it worked, but I should have listened in the second. You're right. I felt good on the feet. I just love the clinch. I love it so much.
You mentioned that your coach had promised you that was how it was going to finish. This beautiful, the knee as he was coming in to maybe go for the legs, maybe try to grapple with you. How satisfactory was it for your whole team for that to work out exactly as planned?
Oh, they were screaming. There was nobody in the stands, but it felt like a full stadium. It was awesome. And my two other corners are training partners of mine that have been hit with that knee 1,000 times now. And to see somebody else get hit with it, I think was huge for them. They loved it.
Last one for me. You said you wanted to make a frustrated grappler, another big grappler who I think would fancy fighting against someone who's only 2-1, who has only been in Bellator one time. Maybe you think you might be interested in calling out Dylan Anlis?
Oh, yeah. I'd be comfortable with that. I'm not worried about Dylan.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Keith.
Hey, Trevor, congratulations. This is Keith Shilton from Sure Dog.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
First question for you. So you mentioned that, it's a big night. It's your debut in a major organization, but it was also an anniversary, and it was an anniversary of Khonry's father at UFC 1 27 years ago to this date. He introduced the world to, the sport of jiu-jitsu. How motivating was that to you, or how rewarding, I should say, is it to you for you to beat him on the anniversary day and kind of ruin, the plans that, the tweets that were going to go out and all this, that you got to ruin that?
Oh, it was wonderful. I love ruining things like that. I have all the respect in the world for Royce and what he's done for the sport. And honestly, when we got here at the hotel and we were initially in the quarantine, seeing him walk by, I had a little like, poof, I had that little adrenaline, like, holy, that's Royce Gracie. But by the time we were walking in, nobody's special anymore. And once you're in the cage, you're just another human, and everything else is gone. It really wasn't a thought all day today. Anything about him or his family. He's just another face in there that I have to beat.
My last question for you. You talked about, you want to be part of Bellator. You're a local guy. You live in Massachusetts. They're right here in Connecticut. I mean, how quick of a turnaround? Because, they're trying to fill up these cards. You're right here. Like, would you want to get back in there immediately?
Absolutely. Yeah. I have very little injuries from this. The fight camp went amazingly. I'm ready to get back in as soon as possible.
All right, we'll go to Dan for our last question. Dan, your line is live. All right, no Dan. Thank you very much, Trevor.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Ooh. Oh, I feel the knee.